Good morning, Bridge Nation. It's the girl Queen Jojo, and welcome to Release and Reset. Hey, some things that are going around here now, but we got it sorted out. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much for being level-headed and relaxed and calm, so that I am too the same. If you're just joining us, big up to Roddy G. You did a good job, sir. You know you always give yourself some trouble. You can't help that. But we're here to release and reset for the new week ahead. And you know it's all about non-stop gospel and inspirational music. And we're going to get right into it. You know what we're going to be talking about this morning, Bridge Nation? Resilience in life storms. How much of us are going through a whole lot right now? I would feel like, say, listen, I eat this. We drop with the our face. And it's a wrap. We're calling it a wrap. I'm telling you, it's not a wrap. We're going to figure out resilience in life storms. We'll be right back. God. Good morning again, Bridge Nation. It is your girl, Queen Jojo. And you're locked into Release and Reset. Listen, so remember I said that our topic for this morning is resilience in life storms. And we know, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, we know that we have all been through something where we say, you know what, this is it. It's a wrap. We're done for. You know, and I played those two songs to remind you who is in charge. God is in charge. He's amazing. You understand me? And we need to remember that who is God? Master God, a God. There's no problem that you have right now that God cannot solve. I'm telling you this. All right. So I just want to welcome everyone. Remember, this show is very new. This is our second episode. This is our second episode, and I am excited. I am happy. It has been interactive since last week. We spoke about letting go, forgiveness and letting go. And we got a lot of responses on Instagram. So I just want to big up everybody who was just sharing their honest, their truth and being honest about how they feel about forgiveness and letting go and how it's a process for them. So thank you so much for tuning in to Release and Reset. And again, this morning, remember, if you want to see me or if you want to listen online, you're in the kitchen right now and you're not close to your radio, but you're close to your phone, I am going to encourage you to stream us at www.thebridge99fm.com. And you can also follow The Bridge at thebridge99fm on all social media platforms. So it's YouTube, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's Facebook, The Bridge 99FM. And if you'd like to follow me as well, you can always head over to Instagram at Queen Jojo Restored. So we're talking about resilience in life storms and why it is important and relevant to all of us as Christian and as non-Christian in your journey. What does that mean? So I have to share the verse of the day, and I want you to listen keenly to the verse of the day because it's going to matter at the end of the program. So listen keenly, Bridge Nation, and remember, you can also interact with me on our WhatsApp line at 876-551-5782, or you can call the studio at 876-676-4996. So what is the verse of the day? My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. James 1 verses 2-4. So we're talking about resilience, right? So the verse they come in. What that gonna mean? Resilience in life storms. We want to know, what is resilience? What is it we're struggling with? How it hinders us when we're not able to handle the pressures, the storms of life. We're going to look at that too. So what does it mean to be resilient? Being resilient means being able to withstand adversities that come our way. It means being able to come back stronger after we've fallen down and to continue moving forward in spite of what we're going through or what we went through. So that is what it means to be resilient. And I don't know about anybody else. I don't know where you are, but in this time that we're in this world, and I'm just talking about my little island, Jamaica, listen to me. If you're not resilient, ain't a problem. If you are unable to manage, you're in problem. But guess what? We can't do it of our own strength. It is impossible, right? So we're going to be sharing some ways in which we can some practical steps to becoming resilient, if there's such a thing as practical steps to becoming resilient, just how our mindset can affect how we look at the storms of life, how we look at the problems in our life, how we can escalate it instead of trying to solve it. So those are some of the things that we're going to be looking at. But of course, you don't know, it's mainly music. So we're going to play some music. We also have a guest as well, and we also have a giveaway. So as I said before, make sure you are listening to the verse of the day. I might just, because I'm this kind, I might just say it again, so that you might have an opportunity to win a lovely basket. A Sunday, you know, we're cooking, don't it? We're cooking up a storm. Some of us start breakfast, not my family. Breakfast not start yet. We're heading into brunch. Big up yourself, Tamika. Big up Julian. Big up Amar. Big up all those who are listening. And Murphy's the first listener this morning who has sent a message saying, I'm gonna start with a bang. Yes, Murphy, you don't know how it go already. It's all about the vibes here. So we're gonna head back to some music. All right, here we go. Because survivors never quit. They fight till the end. Bridge Nation. So we're looking at resilience in life storm, right? We struggle with resilience because we think we can do life in our own strength. We put the S on our chest and we feel empowered quickly. But we quickly realize that God is ultimately in control of everything that we do. So we could have fool ourselves anymore in any way we feel like. We could have manifest, we could have speak it into being, we could have do all of those wonderful things. If God is not in control, you're in problem. That much I can tell you. Now, as I said, I would share just a tidbit of my personal, because I always think it is important for us to, share our personal struggles. And one of my, I would say I'm resilient is based on the umpteen times I've fallen on my face. Flat on my face. Life, I would say, beat me up. Boop, boop, boop. You know them ways, right? And I think I'll share one of my darkest moments with you. I was living alone. Big woman now, ropes. And you say I head up on your own. But and one of the things I think people need to do is teach their young adults that life is not what it is all cracked up to be. Somebody need to tell somebody. Somebody need to put it in a book, something, tell we what to expect, so that we're not thrown by the wickedness of life, right? So I'm living alone, decide that I'm gonna be living, with your boob scoops, go already, that type of vibes. And I had a job, everything was going well, rent pay, light pay, food, everything is just going fabulous. I'm living this wonderful life. But if I'm honest, I wasn't living in God's purpose for me either, so I've totally forgotten all of that, why I'm here on this earth, what I'm called to do, kind of vibe, forgetting to even give God thanks for what I have. And all of a sudden, everything started to fall apart. My pay got cut. The job I looked shaky. All of a sudden, I decided that I wanted to change my career as well. I wanted to be on radio. Yeah. So I saw something came up on Facebook, decided that this is what I'm going to do. So I started to intern, and my boss, then did not appreciate that. And he was like, you know what? I don't think we're working out. I'm going to fire you. Remember, the internship is not paid. So I am now jobless. I now have rent to pay, right? I have to eat food, but I'm also trying to accomplish something. My goals and everything just seemed to be falling apart. And I got to a very dark place because I was like, look at me trying to accomplish something, but I'm falling apart. I feel embarrassed because I can't even find food to eat. And let me tell you something about pride, because we said, Jody, but you have your mother, you have your sister, but pride was killing me because I wanted to be successful on my own, and I didn't want persons to know that I was failing and that my life was falling apart. My life was in shambles, as I like to say. And I was going for days without food, Bridge Nation. And the bills were piling up, and the landlord knocked on your door. Hey, I'm telling you this. It's when the landlord knocked on your door and you owe One different kind of, it's a different kind of feeling, Bridge Nation. And I kept sinking. And then I started to isolate from my family. And I got something in my head said, look at you. Aren't you embarrassed? Look at you. You're feeling, you're falling apart. To say, worth nothing. All these plans we have now gone away. I better you just take a life, yeah, man, and go about your business. And that's how dark it was for me. And Bridge Nation, may I tell you, I tried. And I said to myself, I'm giving up. This life is not for me. It's not worth it. I'm not going to become what my family thought I would be. I'm not going to be like my sister, because I used to compare myself to my sister. I'm not going to be this. I'm not going to be anything. So I said to myself, this is it. It's a wrap. I'm going to take my life. Thanks be to God, it did not happen. I'm still here. And God has been merciful. And it's so funny, because when I decided to do that, God sent somebody in the midst of that to really say, what are you thinking? What are you doing? You have a purpose here. And this is what happens when we try to figure out things for ourselves. When God is not in the midst. You see, because I was trying to sort out the problem myself, and with pride and ego, I decided that I have failed. There's no coming back from this. So me just wrap it up, because me don't want people laugh off of me like said that. Me don't want people laugh at me. Me don't want people think that I'm this huge failure, and that's what it was. But God is so merciful, and God is so great, Bridge Nation, that he said, you know what? Look how I'm going to use this trial that you're going through, and I'm going to make you bounce back from it, so that you can give me glory one day, so that you can let persons know that it doesn't matter what it is they're going through. If they just let all the problems, give him all the care and the burdens that you're feeling right now, Bridge Nation. You had a rough week. You probably get fired this week. You probably put on suspension this week, and you feel like, yo, what am I going to do? I have my bills to pay. I don't have enough money. I'm already not getting paid enough. What is this? And you feel as if it's not over. You can overcome. You can become resilient. Just like me. I don't think I am all that special, but God is amazing, and he can do amazing things in your life, Bridge Nation. I'm just saying that if you are in a rough spot now, we take Joseph's story quickly, because I'm going to go right back into music. Joseph brothers put a plan together, decided that they were going to kill him, felt bad that they decided that, all right, we're not going to kill him, we're going to sell him as slave, right? They sold him as a slave, right? And it's so funny, because they put him in this position, not knowing that God was going to use this very same thing Joseph said, but at this my life turned to me a slave now. And Joseph was the right-hand man of what they call the president, basically, right? And his very brothers had to come back. And it's so funny that when you're resilient and God bring you back, it's not an opportunity for you to show off, because he could have to his brother. He could have harmed his brother, but he did not. He hugged them. You understand? And he showed them love. I'm just saying, Bridge Nation, there's absolutely nothing that you're going through right now that God can't fix. You are victorious. You just don't know it yet. Put everything in God's hand right now. Call upon him. I don't care if you're a Christian. First of all, this is not a church. Just make it clear. This is just to remind you that your creator exists, and he is seeking you, right? And he wants you to come to him so that he can help you through your trials, through your tribulations. You understand? So you are a survivor. You can be victorious. Trust God and do not give up. What a God. He's amazing. Isn't he, Bridge Nation? Just been keeping us through this week right here on. So we're here on Release and Reset, and you know what it's all about. Non-stop gospel and inspirational music. And when we get the opportunity to speak to someone who who can share their story, and we've been focusing on resilience in the storm. And we have a guest with us this morning. It's still morning, yes. This morning, we have Wazari Johnson, and he's a renowned full-time studio ceramist and art exhibitor. Bridge Nation. I be fighting. Thank you, Kevin. I've been, fighting with this list, but here we go. So Rosario Johnson has been a full-time studio ceramist since 2001.
Yes.
That's a long time, So before I even get into anything else, did you just one day decide that you were doing something before this?
Well, I actually went to the Endermanley College to become an illustrator.
Oh, okay.
And when they're in the foundation year, I realized, tutors helped me also to realize that I was stronger in working in 3D.
Oh, okay.
So I went into the sculpture department
Yes.
first and then transferred to ceramics and fell in love with the art form.
Nice. So you produce like cups, bowls, vases, murals, all of them
ceramic
fancy
sculpture.
stuff, sculptures. So wow, that's amazing. So his various collections can be found at the Bank of Jamaica and the Honorable Percival James Patterson, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, and also the Mayor of New York, Mr. Eric Adams. So a big thing, Mr. Johnson, and then a small fry.
God is good.
God is good, right? So, but I come small up the thing like say, and nothing small I go on there, so sir. You understand me? You give God thanks for the blessing and the fact that he actually directed you to something that he knew you would be great at. I feel like God knows, and I don't feel like, I know that God knows us better than we know ourselves. Or sometimes we want to throw ourselves in some things, and it's like, that is not for you. You will not succeed in there. You understand? So that's amazing. Now, we have been talking about resilience in life storms, right? And I know you didn't just get up and start, say, listen, you wanted to do something else, illustration, as you said, and you were guided to something different. But with all this success, these named folks having your your sculptures, could you tell me just a little bit about your experience with overcoming and what we would call becoming resilient, even though life threw some storms at you?
Boy, resilience is needed in the arena of the creative industries, especially in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a great appreciation for the creative industries.
Yes.
Usually it's seen like an industry for hobbyists. And it doesn't get much support. People see it as some kind of fallback profession. Mm-hmm. It's not taken as seriously as engineering or being a teacher or a doctor. But it is a viable industry. Other nations across the world generate billions annually from their creative industries across publishing, multimedia, fine arts. England, Europe, the Americas, Japan.
Yes.
People have a large number of jobs in the creative industries, but Jamaica has not really tapped into its importance.
Right.
And on the governmental level in terms of policies and support, there's not much. So you have a lot to overcome as a professional in the creative industries. I've had doors closed in my face.
Wow.
In the infancy of my journey, trying to get my work sold. And, one gallerist that I have great loyalty to is Vera Ennis, the former proprietor of the Pegasus Gallery. She was one of the first persons that gave me a shot and encouraged me to develop a style of my own and explore my own self. And, it really led to a lot of discovery in terms of my own capacity and potential. And I have a special place in my heart for her because of that. And I've had to overcome many things, discouragement, persons saying that you have to teach or you have to, in
order to be successful in this creative industry, they will say to you have to teach or,
that you can't survive from it.
Can't survive.
Thank God, 21 years I've been proving that idea wrong.
Time. So how has resilience really played a role in your Christian journey and as a creative person?
Well, it is the core of who I am, if there is any quality that I can safely say I possess that is good, is resilience. You know, and I'm happy for that, you know, because one of my favorite passages of scripture is faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
That's right.
And you know, resilience is the partner of faith. You know, I've undertaken things that I thought impossible, but I saw it as a need. You know, have an annual expo, Art and
Yes.
Soul,
Yes.
and when I wanted to do that, I was being discouraged that I couldn't do it, and without sponsors behind me, I've staged it 4 times.
Wow.
You know,
So that's the thing. When we're not leaning on our own strength and allowing God to do what He does best,
Yeah.
by, you know, because this is how He gets His glory. And I truly believe that when we stop relying on ourselves and say, God, all right, obviously I'm no good at this. You take over, and
Amen.
when He takes over, it is just amazing to see. So you also have something called Life Fest. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit about that. What role you play in it as well, and
So
what it is about.
I'm also the organizer of an upcoming event that will be held at Nature's Bliss Iron Shore from the 6th of April through to the 10th, Life Fest. And it is basically an expo and camp meeting that is geared towards organizing Christians to start thinking along the lines of self-sustenance and practical self-sustenance. You know, we often hear preaching, you know, but Christianity is a comprehensive belief system.
Yes.
You know, and we see how right now there is dearth in terms of job creation in the country. We'll be talking about raising up institutions and creating opportunities for persons to have a livelihood and be kingdom sustained.
Yes.
You know, so we'll be looking at in my belief system there's something called medical missionary work. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes.
And we are not hostile to conventional medicine, but we have the belief that our food is our medicine and our medicine is our food, and proper nutrition.
Trying to say that too. Yes.
Proper nutrition actually can avert a whole array of metabolic disorders and diseases. So we promote health and good living
Yes.
as Seventh-day Adventists, and Life Fest will focus on that significantly. Home remedies that persons can explore if they are home and sick. Again, I must underscore I'm not against conventional medicine,
No,
but
man. You see
recently
what-
in
yeah.
the COVID-19 pandemic, I got COVID-19, and how it was addressed was I went on a regimen of using clove oil and clove oil inhalation, and I stayed at home and by the grace of God beat COVID-19. So
Alright, amen.
there's not just one ultimate way to approach the treatment of illness,
Right.
and sometimes having things at home will be your first response to addressing illness.
Right.
So it is not to be seen as hostility towards conventional medicine. It is just giving people opportunities for wellness.
Yes.
So it is basically partnership with conventional medicine,
Right.
you know, supporting it.
Right. So Life Fest is for everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone can come there. And I
Everyone.
realized that there is something called the Return to Work program that is within the Life Fest.
No, the Return to Work program is as a result of a project that I was doing with the UNDP. I was a part of a team that went to Tanzania for some training in ceramics,
Oh.
and all of us had to have Return to Work programs. And my Return to Work program was focused at involuntary returning migrants that are commonly called deportees
Yes.
and at-risk youth.
Oh.
You know, crime is not properly addressed in Jamaica. While lack of opportunities, I'm not using it as a justification for crime.
Right.
It is a factor that contributes to it. And over the years, we see more deportees coming back, and we have more at-risk unattached youth.
Yeah.
And when persons are just there, not engaged, it is an opportunity for
them to
bad
get
things to happen.
into, yes.
So I want to play my part in nation building in terms of engaging some of these groups with the opportunity to learn the skill of ceramics. And I find that when people's mindset is more geared towards creativity, they maintain things better, they respect aesthetics, and I believe it would be a great contribution to our country, because Jamaica has a plethora of talented people. I think our talents, our local talents, and the potential of our talented people locally can actually be a source of economic gain for the country.
I agree.
And we just need more support.
Yeah.
You know, every community, whether it is from what is considered uptown or downtown, have talented people on the ground. At Edna Manley College, all of us came from different economic circumstances.
Yes.
But what we had in common was just talent. And I met some of the most talented human beings that I will ever come across in this life at the college.
What would you say? Because as you shared, a lot of persons we have a lot of talented persons, but sometimes even yourself said that you had to overcome a lot of no's and naysayers saying that you cannot be successful in this field that you're in right now. What would you say to somebody who is listening and they just feel discouraged? They feel they're falling flat on their faces,
Yeah.
right? And they think that they're good at something, or they believe in whatever goal it is they're trying to achieve, but they have failed. You know, we feel like, say, once we fail, that is it, is a wrap. We need to call it quits. What is your advice to this person that is listening that is giving up on their goals, on their dreams, and saying, me not feel like, say, me good enough for this. Me not feel like this is it, cause see it there, me try and watch there, it fall apart.
I would advise them not to look at it necessarily as a failure. They have just learned one way not to do what they want to do. You know, it's not necessarily a failure. It's just how different we have learning.
Yes.
I've done things a particular way and it didn't work. But what I learned is that there's probably another way, and when exploring that, I found the other way to make it work. So they should still keep trying. You know, we live in a wonderful time with social media,
Yes.
YouTube. Explore videos as to how creatives in other countries are showcasing their creativity,
Right.
exploring their creativity. Just try different things. Sometimes the road less traveled is the road you ought to be on. I remember
to
one
that.
year I was talking to a colleague of mine, and he was asking, that's early in my career, and they asked me what I'm going to do and what are the shows I'm going to get involved in. And I remember saying to him that I'm going to try Dembe. And I was laughed to scorn. He said, why would the ceramics go to Dembe? And he said, nobody exhibits art at Dembe. And that year I went to Dembe. I was in the same booth with my father, who was a farmer. And I met the Governor General at the time, Howard Cook, and he was very excited.
Nice.
And that opened a window of great opportunities, and persons started to buy and so on. But in my mind, I see a lot of plants at Dembe, and people put plants in ceramic containers. So
Exactly.
it was a no-brainer for me. But sometimes we think too much from the standpoint of scarcity and limitation.
Yes.
But as a creationist, I believe in the creative power of God, and the word shows that God spoke things into being.
Yes.
You know, and if that is the power that attends my life, all things are really possible.
Yes.
If God can speak a mature tree, He can speak possibility into my life, and I just
Amen.
believe that wholeheartedly, and that is the driving force behind what I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wazari. I really want you to tell persons how they can get in contact with you for your ceramic items, of course, and also information about Life Fest. And also, I don't know if you're still doing the Return to Work program, if it's still a thing, but just so that persons can get in contact with you if they're interested in getting any of these information.
All right. So on Instagram, you can find me at the handle Wazari Johnson. That is Wazari, and Johnson, Johnsson. That's Instagram. Same for Facebook. My telephone number is 388-9428. 388-9428. the return to work program is an ongoing thing. Right now, we are trying to find a space to operate from, and it will always be. My plan is to actually create a resource center where, like a incubator, where persons who are interested in becoming ceramists can use a kiln and use wheels if they can't afford to,
Yes.
and then launch their own studio effort.
That
So
sounds great.
it's an ongoing project. It's still in its infancy, but working towards it.
Oh, they want you to repeat your number just in case
Okay,
somebody
so
seem
my
interested.
number is 388-9428. 876-388-9428.
See there, so do you have any social media platform that people can go and look on your items?
Yes. So most of my ceramics can be seen on Instagram at Wazari Johnson, Wazari Johnson. There's also a Facebook page called This Studio, and you can find that on Facebook. And yeah, those are the places you'll see most of my work.
Thank you so much for joining Release and Reset. I hope you enjoyed your stay here.
It was a pleasure.
You're most welcome, and I hope that you get some more calls. And I'm very proud of your journey and just allowing God to lead you. You know, when we allow God to lead us, this is what we become great. We do great things so that He can get the glory. We get some
Amen.
nice things, but when He gets the glory,
Amen.
it is even better. So
Amen.
that somebody can look on and see that, listen, all right, some life kind of take a turn. Let's see where that's, where it's leading me, and speak to God. I always tell people, nothing wrong with prayer, Talk to God. God can see you through a lot of things that you're meddling into and making it worse. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with Release and Reset with some music. Bridge Nation, you've been so kind to me. We have a couple more minutes to wrap, but I want to remind you of the verse of the day, because we have a giveaway, and the verse of the day plays a very important role. So at the end, just giving you another chance. So, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. James 1 verses 2 to 4. So that has been our verse of the day, right? And we have been talking about resilience in life storm, and we shared that when we try to do these things, when we try to overcome the struggles and the storms of life, we put ourselves in a lot of problems, because we put the S on our chest and say we're gonna play a superman or superwoman of our own lives, and sometimes it get worse than better. And if God merciful enough, sometimes we get through, but sometimes we make a mess of the already stressful situation, right? And we wanted to look at we can look at some additional Bible verses that talk about resilience as well. Galatians 6 verse 9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So that it all depends on what it is you're struggling with and what your storm is. Because, oftentimes we go through some struggles and we say, the good person things they're not really working. So I'm going to just be like everybody else. I'm going to be heartless. I'm going to be thoughtless. I'm not going to care about anybody else. I'm just going to focus on me. And that's not it. Never be too weary in doing good. Right? And then you have 2 Corinthians 4 verse 8, excuse me. We are hard pressed on every side. This is actually my favorite. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair. So on every side, we get the word. We always say I get rub out. It's rough. It's sticky. But we're not. We're perplexed. We're crushed. But we're not in despair, because we know that with God in the midst, everything will be okay. We will overcome whatever trial or situation or struggles we're facing, right? So we have 7 ways to build resilience. So some practical ways, because we're gonna try to break it down as to the best way to become resilient, right? And one way is to develop and maintain strong relationships. This is so important. Your support group is so important, Bridge Nation. We think that we can do things by ourselves, and as I shared with my personal story, that's a glitch of my personal story. That's a tad. You think that you can do it yourself, and you say, you know what, me a big woman, me a big man, so I'm supposed to be able to manage the stress and the trials and the setbacks of life. But the truth is, you need relationship, you need a support group, right? So that should be build connections with your family members, your friends, your neighbors, and people who share your interests. Join a group, do something, just be a part of people who are like-minded in a sense. I hope you're mine, right? So are like-minded, right? And who cares about you, genuinely wants to see the best for you. And this is important, so that when you're going through these hard times, you don't go through it alone. You can rely on somebody that you trust, other than God. That's why I make people, so that we can have a social life, so that we can have a relationship with persons, so that when we're going through a rough time, we can say, Kevin, boy, it kind of, boy, I may go through this, what is your take on this? Or even if Kevin not have the answer, him can just say, you know what, I'm with you, I'm supporting you, I'm behind you 100%. Also change how you respond to situations. I used to just fall apart. As soon as something go wrong, I eat that. Jody on the floor, life is a wrap. Let's just call it what it is. It's over. That's not how I wouldn't encourage that kind of that kind of response to situations, because the truth is, Bridge Nation, life is always going to be happening. As we love to say now, life in. You understand me? So things will happen, and you have to be in control in some sense. You have to know how to respond to the situations, because difficult situations will always come about. There's no running from it. There is no running from it at all, right? So be decisive and proactive, and sometimes try to break down the problems. Don't try to just get over it all at once. Sometimes the problem really is a 3-step thing. So step 1, then step 2, then step 3, and you try to, and I'll repeat again, there's nothing that prayer can't do. So pray and ask God to show you what it is you need to do. Sometimes you're going about it your own way and you're making it worse. Pray about it. But how you respond to the problems in your life will make a difference. You can also turn setbacks into opportunities for growth. We had Mr. Johnson shared that, he went to Edna Manley. He wanted to do illustration, and then somebody said, no, you're supposed to be in the ceramic department, build stuff, and there he is, all the top people have his work in their home. The Bank of Jamaica has his work. So, I'm just saying, there is an opportunity also in you failing. You probably can't see it, but just relax. Experiencing a rough patch often reveals that you are stronger than you thought. Resilience gives you the ability to rise to the occasion and learn new skills. So it's not for you to fall apart, but it's for you to see, all right, then this is happening. How can I overcome this? And this is where you'll find your strength. You can develop a positive outlook. Even though they're rough, like if things are going bad and you're expected to look at it in a positive way. It's hard to feel hopeful when life isn't going your way. Your mindset plays a key role in your capacity to get back on your feet after being knocked down. And I can attest to that. You see, because if you are not thinking positively, if you're not thinking in a way where you're thinking about solving the problem and getting over the problem, then you just lie in it, and all sort of manner of evil and wickedness and all sort of weird things will come to your mind. See, I wanted to take my life. Imagine not having Queen Jojo to chill with. That's ridiculous. You understand me? So we have to be careful of the mindset. Try to think positively, even when things seems a little bit rough around you. Try to think positively, and maintain a healthy perspective, which is thinking positively. Think about how this can, this can be a way for me to um solve a problem and then assist somebody who might have this same problem. So it's all about perspective. How you think plays a big role in how you feel. So you have to be careful. It's all about your mind, what's happening in your mind. It is so important that we understand that how we think, how we view the problem that we're going through is very important, because if you start thinking the worst, the worst things, that's probably what is going to happen, and that's how you're probably going to maneuver the trials or your problems that you're going through. And you know what is also important, Bridge Nation? Take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself, then your mind is in a proper space. You understand me? And then now you can think about the problem in a logical way, as I like to say, a logical way, where you can solve it properly and not do anything that might get you in more problem than you need to be. Right? Bridge Nation, we're going to go to some music, but I just want you to know that the package is here. I have a giveaway from a Eat That Snacks, right? And I know you're here at Eat That Snacks, but guess what is in the package? It is seasoning. Yes, I Eat That Snacks seasoning. Listen, I know you're in your kitchen right now. You probably have cut up the chicken. Hopefully it's curry chicken. You probably have cut up your chicken. Kevin said, no, Kevin, that's not all another time, because me not understand you and not eating curry chicken. That's a whole nother time, sir. But you probably have cut up a chicken for curry, your chicken, or brown stew your chicken with the rice and peas and so, right? Make a season. Yeah, you need a seasoning. Eat That Snack seasoning is the bomb. I use it all the time. So I got a package for you. I'm going to be asking the question at the end of the show, and hopefully you'll get the correct answer. If you want to, you can always send a message. You don't have to call. So you can send your answer at 876-551-5782. We're going to go back to some music, and then we'll be back with the question. That is Rhonda Isabella with Still Breathing. And Bridge Nation, you're listening to me right now. You're still breathing. This week might have not gone the way you wanted it to. You might have had something just terribly happen to you. You're probably going through something for a month, a year, from last year coming to this year, but guess what? You're still breathing. So that means there's an opportunity for you to rise again. There's an opportunity for you to do better. There's an opportunity for you to win. There's victory in Jesus, man. Just pray and trust him. I know right now you might be going through something rough, and you hear it all the time. It's so cliche, When you think about it, it is so cliche. Like, you're going through it, man. Everything is going to be okay. The truth is, it is. It will be. I know it's rough, but it will be. Take it from a girl who knows. Take it from somebody who has gone through it. And one day when I'm brave enough, I'll tell you everything. And you'll say to yourself, how is it you're still here? How is it you still get up in the morning, smile, and be so chirpy and so happy? And to be honest with you, I wasn't so chirpy and so happy this morning. For whatever reason, I just frustrated and upset. The poor taxi man must have said, what happened to the lady, a man? But I was just moody, and these things will happen because we're merely humans, but we give God thanks because he still allows us the opportunity to overcome, and the opportunity to say sorry, and the opportunity to just do the right thing when the time comes. So you're going through something rough right now, and you think that you cannot come out of it, and you're thinking one way and one way only. I tell you, life is worth it. I'm telling you, don't give up. Find somebody, speak to somebody, and if you don't have anybody, knee city, my mother always say, go up on your knee, bawl out to God. He doesn't care where you are, what you've been doing. It doesn't matter. Go up on your knee and pray and ask God for show you the way. Me call him Daddy Jesus. you know, because my father died when I was 17. So my daddy is Jesus. So when I'm going through anything, as much as you see me here, I go up on the knee, I ball, because sometimes I don't know what to say. And when I act a fool, I'm go on with my ways and the things that I should not do, I go there creepingly closing my eyes and saying, all right, so I did that again. I'm sorry, God. Help me through it, because I'm merely human and we're struggling. So if anybody tell you, say you come here and you go perfect, I lie them, I tell you, it's not so. It's a struggle. And when you look for me, I say, Queen Jojo, gospel, yes, I love Jesus, because I know what I've been through, so I can't play a fool and go like say me not go praise him openly. I don't know about you, but we all have our journey. But we have a giveaway before we go about our business. Quick and fast. It's from a Eat That Snacks seasoning, right? So the brand is a Eat That Snacks, and they're giving away seasoning. And let me tell you something. I use it for my curry chicken, because that's what I love, curry chicken. I use it for my pasta, my creamy coconut pasta as well. I use their seasoning as well, right? So I don't know, play things. So right now you're in the kitchen and you probably run out of onion seasoning or turmeric or garlic. You'll have the jerk. They have their jerk onion and the jerk turmeric and the jerk garlic. That's what you'll be getting in this package this week, right? So all you have to do, it's pretty simple. Send a message. All you have to do is tell me what was the verse of the day. Look at that. It's too simple. All you have to do is tell me what was the verse of the day. You can send a WhatsApp at 876-551-5782, or you can call in and tell me at 876-676-4996. No, you have a minute. And don't worry yourself. If you send a WhatsApp message, I'll definitely reach out to you to let you know if you have the correct answer or not. So all you have to do is tell me the verse of the day, and you'll win a package from a Eat That Snacks with a Eat That Snacks spicy yummy seasoning. All right, Bridge Nation, thank you so much for being here with me this morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate the messages. Forgive me for not responding to all of them. I'm merely human, and it's kind of difficult to see everything. But thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I hope that you'll have a wonderful week ahead. I hope the music soothed you. You felt encouraged, and I look forward to spending some time with you again come next week, Sunday at 10 a.m. Up next is Musically Speaking with Clyde Mackenzie.
The Bridge 99 FM.